Welcome to our channel. In this session, we will discuss the concept of vector processing. The main need of vector processing is certain computational problems requires processing huge arrays of data. It takes a lot of time for doing the processing in a conventional computer. But coming to vector processing, this vector processing process the entire array by using a single operation. Simply, a vector is a one-dimensional array. The main advantage, that is where we are using vector processing in long-range weather forecasting, in image medical diagnosis, image processing, artificial intelligence, expert systems, in most of the applications where processing time is the most crucial. In such situations, we are moving to vector processing. One more advantage of vector processing is it reduces the overhead of maintaining multiple instruction format. That is, the entire operation is performed by using a single instruction format. This is the instruction format that is provided by the vector processing. The first one is opcode, second the base address source 1, base address source 2, base address destination, and then vector length. This is the single instruction. Here opcode specifies the operation that we are going to perform. Base address of source 1, that is the starting address of the source, first source, the starting address of the second, the destination, the starting address of the destination, vector length, how many elements you need to consider. By using this single instruction, it is very easy to perform vector operation. Now, to understand this vector processing, we will consider one example, that is a matrix multiplication. This is the most computational intensive problem. Here consider two matrices. Assume the size of the matrix is n by n. So here I am writing the two matrices, the representation A13, A21, 22, 23, A31, 32, 33. So you know the representation. A11, A12, A13. First row, second row, third row. Simply assume this is the matrix A multiplied with some matrix B, B13, B21, B22, B23, B31, B32, B33. If you are multiplying these two matrices, we are getting a result. Assume this is my result, C13, C21, C22, C23, C31, C32, C33. How we are getting a particular element? Simply we know. So how do you get? The first row of the first matrix is multiplied with the first column of the second matrix. We are getting an element of the resultant matrix. Consider how we are getting C11. Simply A11 into B11 plus A12 into B21 plus A13 into B31. So finally, how we are getting the complete matrix? Simply sigma some k is equal to 1 to 3 aik into bkj. This is the way. Simply, if it is an n by n matrix, it requires n square inner products. It requires n square inner products or n cube multiply add operation. N cube multiply add operation. Observe this scenario. Here it required 1, 2, 3. 3 multiplications. After initializing C11 with 0, first, second, 3 additions. That is, it requires a total of 9 multiplications or additions. So finally, for the entire matrix, 9 into 3. So total 27. Total 9 into 3. Total 27 multiply add operations are required. In this, n square inner products and each inner product taking n multiply add operations. Anyway, it seems some difficult. For understanding, how do we are calculate the inner products? A1 B1 plus A2 B2. So for understanding, we are taking some pipelining example. How we are calculating the inner product? Consider a 4-segment pipeline. Here I am taking 2 pipelines. Each pipeline contains 4 segments. This is multiplier pipeline. Why? Here in my multiplication, I have both multiplication operation and addition operation. So that is the multiplier pipeline 1, 2, 3. This is adder pipeline. Now, 2 inputs. One is source A, another one is source B. Source A, another one is source B. Now, initially, all the segments are initialized with a value 0. Initially, all the segments are initialized with a value 0. At one clock cycle, one pair AIBI is moved into the segment and perform the multiplication operation for one clock cycle. Now, if you understand carefully, in the first clock cycle, what happened? The pair A1 B1 is entered. In the second clock cycle, A1 B1 is moved to here, A2 B2 is entered. In the third clock cycle, A1 B1 is here, A2 B2, A3 B3. In the fourth clock cycle, A1 B1, A2 B2, A3 B3, A4 B4. So up to the end of 4 clock cycles, the multiplier pipeline is filled with 4 pairs. Now, by the end of the 4th clock cycle, that is in the 5th clock cycle, what happened? This A1 B1 is moved to the adder pipeline. Initially, it contains the value 0. That is, in the 5th clock cycle, A1 B1 is added with 0. A1 B1 is added with 0 and the result is A1 B1, that is copied here. Once that is copied here, this is A2 B2, A3 B3, A B4 5. In the 6th clock cycle, what happened? A1 B1 is moved to here. This A2 B2 is entered. This A2 B2 is entered into the adder pipeline. This is 3, 4, 5, 6. In the 7th, A1 B1. In the 8th clock cycle, right now I am here. In the 8th clock cycle, A1 B1, A2 B2, A3 B3, A4 B4, A5 B5, A6, A7, AH. Right? This is the end of 8 clock cycles. Now understand, after completion of 8 clock cycles, in the 9th clock cycle, A1 B1 comes out. And once A1 B1 is coming out, understand, once A1 B1 is coming out, here what is available? Immediately here A2 B2, A3 B3, A4 B4, A5 B5. This is shifted here. Now this A1 B1 is added with that element here. What is the pair here? The pair is A5 B5. In the 10th clock cycle, what happened? Here this is A3 B3. Obviously A6 B6. A2 B2, A6 B6. In the 11th clock cycle, this is moved to here. A3 B3 plus A7 B7. In the 12th, this is 9, 10, 11. In the 12th clock cycle, In the 13th clock cycle, what happened? So up to these four completed. Again A9. So A9 B9 and A10 B10. So if you observe the pattern, this is the way to calculate the inner product. It simplifies the operation of matrix multiplication by using these segments. Simply, how many number of elements you require? So simply follow this pattern. By using this simple way, the inner product is calculated. This is the vector processing. In this vector processing, one more term you need to understand is memory interleaving. What is mean by memory interleaving? For example, either vector processing or parallel pipelining, or at a time, that is, we need a simultaneous access to the memory bus. Memory interleaving. We have a simultaneous access to the memory bus. Now, which one you need to allocate the memory? For example, in the instruction pipeline, one segment fetches an instruction from the memory, another segment fetches an operand from the memory. That is a simultaneous access to the memory. Instead of maintaining two memory buses, the memory is divided into different number of memory modules, and all the modules are connected to a common address bus and data bus. For example, consider memory array. Each memory module consists of a memory array, address register along with data register. So assume my system consists of 4 memory modules. Simply memory array, address register and data register. Memory array, address register, data register. Again, memory array, address register, data register. Here each memory module contains memory array, address register, which is connected to an address bus. Address register is connected to an address bus which receives the address information, and data register is connected to a bidirectional data bus. Bidirectional data bus based on the least two significant bits. The corresponding memory module is selected. So this is the advantage of interleaving. That means we are assigning different addresses to different memory modules. For example, if you have only two memory modules, even addresses are placed in one module, odd addresses are identified in another module. Again, what is the advantage? Some modules are used for memory access, some modules are used for read and write operations, like that. For example, if we have more number of memory modules, based on the least significant bits, we are selecting the memory module, and the remaining bits are used to identify the location of the memory module. This is the memory interleaving. This is the overall concept of vector processing. Thank you.